This truly blows my mind. I do not know how people can say baking is a science and then companies like Betty Crocker can do something like this. I use white cake mix in one of my recipes, and so because of that, I keep a lot of it on hand. And so this box on the right is an older box, and I'm going to zoom in a second, and the box on the left is a newer box that I just had picked up. They look different, and I was like, oh, Betty Crocker redid their branding or whatever, and then I was like, wait, no, something feels weird, because they felt like different weights. I was using these two in a recipe, and they felt different. It might be kind of hard to see because of how TikTok is, but the new cake mix is 14.25 ounces or 403 grams, and the original recipe was 16.25 ounces or 460 grams. So that's an almost 60 gram difference, which if you are a baker, you know is absolutely huge, but that's not even the craziest part. So really and truly the craziest part is that they did not reduce the liquid, the fat, or the egg amount. They just reduced the dry ingredients. So the new one is over here and it has 1 cup of water, half a cup of oil, 3 eggs. The old one is over here and it has 1 cup of water, half a cup of oil, and 3 eggs, which is insane and is absolutely 100% going to change the texture of these boxed cake mixes. I suspect that what Betty Crocker did is, because you know they tested this before they rolled it out, I suspect what they did is that they slowly reduced the amount of dry ingredients, and they reduced it as much as they could without having to change the wet ingredients and the egg amount, because they didn't really want people to pick up on the fact that they changed the amount of cake mix in the box. And so they were like, how much can we reduce it without people like noticing? Because if you change the amount of eggs or the oil or the water and you're someone who uses cake mixes a lot, you're going to notice right off the bat. But this absolutely is going to change the texture of the cakes that you're baking. So if you're someone who uses boxed cake mixes like all the time, I would be really interested to hear if you've noticed a difference in your cakes. What I'm probably going to have to do, and luckily I only use 2 boxed cake mixes in my business, but what I'm probably going to have to do is I'm probably going to have to open a second box of cake mix and take 60 grams out of the dry ingredients out and put it in to like make one whole boxed cake mix, or figure out how to properly reduce the amount of oil, water, and egg to compensate for the smaller amount, because this is just, it seems unacceptable and like unethical, but it's just mostly crazy. I get it. I get inflation and the economy and I get all of that, but I just feel like when you're one of the biggest cake mix producers, you like owe it to your clientele to do a little bit better than this. What the heck?